हरे कृष्ण। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। This yogic powers, no, they will help person to create also. And the creation does not happen because of the ingredients. Creation happens because of mantra. When Brahma, he does not take all the ingredients like the construction worker. You don't take all the earth, water, fire, and sitting and chiseling and creating this universe. That's not the way creation happens. Creation happens anavriti shabdat. It is because of the sound. You chant the mantra. If you are able to pronounce the vibration of the particular object, you can create the object. Like aerial mansion. Every object is actually a vibration. This is according to quantum physics. It is not even means they also discovered this understanding that's a quantum physics. Quantum physics is a wave function. Everything is a wave. Everything has certain vibration. If you can chant that vibration, you create. So Brahma creates. The original mantra he chants is Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopi Jan Vallabhaya. This is the mantra he chants. So when you chant the particular mantra, you create like apa. If you chant apa, you can create water. The vibration of water and the word apa, it has the same wavelength. But if you can pronounce apa perfectly, if you have that mantra siddhi, pronunciation, the pure pronunciation, if you are able to produce the same vibration, that item is created. So this is how creation comes. It is a different levels of creation. So if Kardamuni is able to chant the vibration of aerial mansion, that's what yogic siddhi is. If they can chant, they can create the item. They need not, of course, there are other siddhis for yogis they can bring from different places. But when it comes to mantra siddhi, it's just a sound. So Brahma, that's what we said. Anavrita Shabda, Anavrita Shabda, Anavrita. These are three words that are repeated. That means the sound, the creation came. With the help of same sound, we have to get out of creation. Creation is by sound, get out is by seed. Now Brahma created everything with sound, and we are also because of sound only. There are some desires that are vibrating in us, which is creating our personality. Now you change the desires, you change your personality. If I get a spiritual desire, that is a sound, spiritual sound. Hare Krishna Mahamantra, what is that? Prabhupada said, Hey Radha, Hey Krishna, please engage me in your service. So it's a desire we are creating. So with that desire means that's a sound vibration. So with that we are changing the our existence. This is the system that is followed. So they did not take any cement bricks or anything. Creation means it's sound only. Even like say now if I am making this building, where it starts. Prabhupada was walking, on morning walk, he saw a big mansion, a big skyscraper building. He asked, how did this come here? Somebody said somebody designed it, somebody planned it, somebody constructed it. And Prabhupada said, because somebody spoke about it. Because the sound vibration creates a building. It does not happen that that is the anything is sound only. I decided, okay, let us have a garden here. So first I start speaking about the garden. Then slowly the garden manifests. So that means where it manifested first in a certain level. So manufacturing is on certain level and comes in a gross form. Now because we don't have that mantra siddhi, we have to grossly do it. Otherwise, it's all already done like that. This is the creation. And they lose their yogic powers, yes, if they enjoy it. And this is the enjoyment of material world. Material world, if somebody want to enjoy, they enjoy in that particular way. So Lord created this world to enjoyment, but not ours. His enjoyment. He created for our enjoyment also. That how did he create? He made this arrangement in such a way that we do the activity but don't get entangled. That's how he wanted us to do it. But somehow, unfortunately, people get entangled with all these systems because they don't follow the rules. Now, Kardamuni enjoyed, but he did not get entangled. So this is This is what is expected. You do it, don't get entangled. He knows. And one of the best enjoyments we can hear. Why Bhagavatam is explaining is it is want to show that even if you want to enjoy materially, you do it legally. Don't do illegally. Hiranyakashipu was enjoying, Kardamuni is enjoying. Kardamuni is no less enjoying. He is also enjoying nicely. But Hiranyakashipu is wrong, Kardamuni is right. Because he went legal. Hiranyakashipu also did tapasya, Kardamuni also did tapasya. Hiranyakashipu also was having all this palace and everything. Kardamuni also had. But Hiranyakashipu is wrong, Kardamuni is right. Hiranyakashipu got Prahlad, Kardamuni got Kapiladeva. So fortunately, both are great personalities. But still Hiranyakashipu is wrong only. Because he is going against the will of Lord. So that makes so much difference. If we do according to will of Lord, then there is so much difference. We will not have to pay fine. We will be happy doing the. We can be happy. Like say prasadam. We all like prasadam, right? We are enjoying. And after coming to ISKCON only, I started eating so much variety. Previously, I was not knowing even paneer also. We were having some other style, but paneer after coming ISKCON we came to know, and so many other items also, which we were not knowing. My classmates and all, I saw, no, they don't enjoy so much food like what we do in ISKCON. Their enjoyment of food means they know only some varieties of non-veg, but we have very fine varieties of. Now we are enjoying, but it's legal. Our enjoyment is legal because it is connected to Krishna. But if you don't connect it to Krishna, then it becomes illegal. So Kardamuni, this is enjoyment. Senses are satisfied of Kardamuni, mind is satisfied, intelligence is satisfied. Still is no reaction for it. Bhagavatam is telling it is legal. After enjoying this, another lesson is what Devahuti is, what Kardamuni did. He did not continue enjoying. Once the children are come, he said, okay, I am done with it. I am leaving now for the forest sannyas. And Devavati is asking Kapila. No, after some time she asks, Are my senses and mind are troubling so much. Why don't you give me some knowledge? That means what? Even after enjoyment also, because they did properly, it causes detachment. It makes us free from the impressions that we have. We do it properly. That's why we have to do karma. People say why you are doing your activity. That's what fifth chapter Krishna is telling Arjuna. Perform your duty better than not doing your duty and taking sannyas. Why this is better than sannyas is because of this reason. Because you have the impressions, you have to clear the impressions so that you will be elevated to the next level. Then you are eligible to dharma, artha, kama, and then moksha. When the kama is performed in a legal way, automatically detachment comes. A person goes to the next level of moksha. It's a system that Lord created, very scientific system, very proper system. But what happens is human beings are very intelligent to what do you say, do all corruptions. They corrupt the system, but the system is not very perfect. Even if somebody want to enjoy in this material world, also you see Kardamuni, how nicely he's enjoying. Parikshit Maharaj, he was king. The whole universe, he was the whole world. He was the king, and he was enjoying. But when a time came, he just left. So the point is not that is the way to enjoy in this world. We are enjoying our senses. We have nice prasadam. We have nice things to hear. Nice. We go to temple. We have nice music, dance, everything legally done, and we enjoy more, but in a proper way. Demigods they are enjoying. It's legal. They don't get reactions. Of course, they don't get detachment also. That's another problem. But some of them they may get detachment. The point is. And some people voluntarily avoid enjoyment because that will distract them from focusing on Krishna. That is another thing. Otherwise somebody who is very sincere, he will not get distracted also. Like Parikshit Maharaj is not distracted. Bharat Maharaj, when he was in the king, he was not distracted, but he became Jada Bharat, then he got distracted. So this is the This is the risk. If you go for enjoyment, there is a risk of getting distracted. Janma Ishwara Sutta Sivir Yedhamana Madapuma. That's what Kunti Maharani is giving warning. Otherwise, this enjoyment is there. Like Pandavas were personally given the kingdom to them by Krishna. He wanted them to make Indraprastha and all this Mayasabha. Krishna wanted Maidana to make for Pandavas and give so that they live in a prosperity. Why he is giving? Because even if they are in that prosperity, they don't forget Krishna. That is why. Even like if you see the blessings Krishna gives to the florist in Mathura when he goes. Uh, what he does is he gives him blessings that you will live prosperously this life also. That is a blessing he gives. One of the blessings, three blessings he gives. One of the blessing he gives is you will be happy in this lifetime and live very prosperously and then go next, you go to spiritual. And this is Siddhama Vipra, and Krishna is giving him so much prosperity. So enjoyment is there, but in a legal way. That is the formula. And here we are still in one chapter behind. Yeah, Pundrik Vidyanidhi. Pundrik Vidyanidhi was also enjoying, but he was they're always conscious. For King Pratap Rudra, his heart is with Krishna. Even if you get material enjoyment, if heart is with Krishna, then it will not be a problem. Heart is not with Krishna and we get material enjoyment. We give our heart to material enjoyment. That is the risk. If my heart is with Krishna, even if I get, I am okay, I will enjoy, but my heart is with Krishna only. So then there is no risk. Otherwise, there is a great risk. Now there is a question that Roji, he was attached to deer in the life of king only, distracted in deer. He lived with the sages next to him. He was, when he was in the kingdom, he just left it, Malavad. He just, after we clear our stomach in the morning, how we live, Bharat Maharaj left his kingdom like that. He went to forest because he didn't associate, he started practicing alone. That was the risk. Otherwise, in the kingdom, he was already detached. He was very highly qualified. Where he did mistake is when he came to the forest. He already took renunciation, came to the forest, then he went into risk. Otherwise, the opulence did not affect Bharat Maharaj. We cannot take chance. We try to live simple life because our heart is not yet with Krishna. If we have given our heart to Krishna, then opulence, no problem. If our heart is not with the Lord, like Kardamuni, he performed tapasya in such a way, he gave so much life and soul to Lord. Lord got tears in his eyes. That's his Bindu Sarovar. Then for him, all this, yeah, distraction is after he left kingdom. So that is for Bharat Maharaj. But when it came to Kardamuni, he already gave his heart to Lord. So when opulence came, it's not risk. For us, why it is risk? Because our heart is not yet with Krishna, then it is a risk. If somebody, some of you, most of you have given your heart to Krishna, so, but still we cannot take chance because material distractions, यही संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुखयो नेवते आद्यंतवंत कौन के नतेश रमते बुधा. Natesh ramate buddha means the intelligent people don't try to go in this direction. Buddha, Natesh ramate, they don't enjoy in this. Why? There is a risk of distracting, the consciousness may get distracted. If somebody is doing if he has that inclinations, like he has that sanskaras, to get rid of them, he has to do sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes he has to do this to get free from the distractions which he get because of the impression. That's why he has to marry legally, but his heart he should try to give it to Krishna. sadhana is very important. But the heart does not go to the family much. It is with Krishna. Wife is there, children are there, but heart is there with Krishna. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling to Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. No, he gave the example. They wrote many, many letters, but only one reply came after a long time. That also only online. That no, as a woman who has a paramour, she serves her husband so faithfully so that he don't get doubt. In that way, you do service to the king. And then they understood the language. They said, okay, their heart is with Krishna, but they are serving here nicely. We do our duties and job in this world very, very nicely, but heart we should give Krishna. To give heart Krishna, morning sadhana is very helpful. That's why morning we have to do sadhana very strictly so that our heart does not go here, there. It's with Krishna. Morning, chanting, and our Bhagavatam class is a protection for us. Right? Will and here we see Maitreya said, "O great warrior, Vidura, the great sage, the sage Kardama, said this much only and then became silent, thinking of his worshipful Lord Vishnu. He has a lotus on his navel. As he silently smiled, his face captured the mind of Devahuti, who began to meditate upon the great sage." This is what, see, Kardamana is talking to Swayambhu Manu and his marriage proposal came. He's not so excited. Yes, I am getting the most beautiful girl of this present time. I am fortunate. What a nice match I got. He's not celebrating. What is he doing? He became silent and thinking of Supreme Lord. What does it mean? Heart is the Lord. Even though he is having best of the situations, I know he's just sitting at his ashram and the best match is coming. The number one person of the universe is coming, Swayambhu Manu. He is the creator, all the humanity. Number one person, number one match, and there this is the best opportunity. He is not. His heart is there with Krishna. He knows this is there. I have to do, but heart. It appears Kardamuni was fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness because as soon as he became silent, he at once began to think of Lord Vishnu. See, that is the way of Krishna consciousness. Pure devotees are so absorbed in thought of Krishna that they have no other engagement. Although they may seem to think or act otherwise, they are always thinking of Krishna. The smile of such a Krishna conscious person is so attractive that simply by smiling he wins so many admirers, disciples, and followers. Very much applicable to Prabhupada. Just smile of Prabhupada, he could capture so many fallen souls. That is because Prabhupada was also like Sally Agrawal. She says, it is not very difficult to host Prabhupada. Prabhupada was guest in the Butler, Pennsylvania, in the Sally Agrawal's house. So she says that it was not difficult because Swamiji, if he will never get bored. He's absorbed in his chanting. And Prabhupada was very peaceful. So she was acknowledging that. And here, after having unmistakably known the decision of the queen as well as that of Devahuti, the emperor most gladly gave his daughter to the sage, whose host of virtues was equal to her by hers. She is also equally qualified. Both are qualified, made for each other. Lord created both of them. Empress Shatrupa lovingly gave most valuable presents suitable for the occasion, such as jewelry, clothes, and household articles in dowry to the bride and bridegroom. Prabhupada writes is addressing some cultural aspects here. The custom of giving one's daughter in charity with a dowry is still current in India. The gifts are given according to the position of father and the bride. Paribharan Mahadana means the dowry which must be awarded to the bridegroom at the time of marriage. Here, Mahadana means greatly valuable gifts befitting the dowry of an empress. The word Usha Vasa Parichadhan also appears here. Pusha means ornaments, Vasa means clothing, and Parichadhan means various household articles. So this is custom also. If marriage is there, they have to give bed, cook, kitchen utensils, they give fridge, washing machine, and other things nowadays. All these things befitting the marriage ceremony of an empress daughter were awarded to Karda Muni, who was until now observing celibacy as brahmachari. The bride Devahuti was very richly dressed with ornaments and clothing. In this way, Karda Muni was married with full opulence to a qualified wife and was endowed with the necessary paraphernalia for household life. In Vedic way of marriage, such a dowry is still given to the bridegroom by the father of the bride. Even if poverty struck in India, there were marriages where hundreds and thousands of rupees are spent for dowry. The dowry system is not illegal. It's Prabhupada's opinion, as some have tried to prove. The dowry is a gift given to the daughter by the father to show goodwill and it is compulsory. In rare cases where the father is completely unable to give a dowry, it is enjoined that he must at least give a fruit and a flower. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, God can also be pleased even by a fruit or flower. When there is financial inability and no question of accumulating a dowry by another means, one can give a fruit and flower for the satisfaction of the bridegroom. In India, this is still there. All their fortune which they have earned so many years, they give in marriage to the daughter. That is uh, that is a responsibility they feel. Their savings, they go not only savings, they go into loans also. Many of them, they take loan and then they get their daughters married. So that is the love of the father and what he feels responsible. And they start as soon as the daughter is born, they start thinking about the marriage. That is the custom. Of course, now it is changing. They are thinking about career and other things. But previously, it was they start accumulating. Like my sister's daughter's marriage, my mother already started accumulating. She as soon as she's born, my mother started accumulating for my sister's daughter. So I'm grandmother, no? I should give something to her. She start purchasing some jewelry or something. She starts accumulating money for that. As soon as the daughter is born, they feel that responsibility. So this is the Indian culture. That is actually very good. The, now they are want, of course, now why they have to focus on career because men are not responsible. Previously, if they are married, then they know that okay, rest of the life he will take care. But because men are not responsible, women have to go work on their career and make themselves little more secure. All this is very complicated. Maybe after a few years, people may not understand only what is this dowry system. Everything will be changed because in the everybody is just anyway. Will not go in this. Thus, relieved of his responsibility by handing over his daughter to a suitable man, Swayambhu Manu, his mind agitated by feeling of separation, embraced his affectionate daughter with both arms. Prabhupada was also having some daughters. So, a father always remains in anxiety until he had handed over his grown-up daughter to a suitable boy. A father and mother's responsibility for children continues until they marry them to suitable spouse. When the father is able to perform the duty, he is relieved of his responsibility. The emperor was unable to bear the separation of his daughter. Therefore, tears poured from his eyes again and again. Drenching his daughter's head, he cried, "My dear mother, my dear mother." So he says, Amba. The word Amba is significant. The father sometimes addresses his daughter in affection as mother and sometimes as my darling. The feeling of separation occurs because until the daughter is married, she remains the daughter of the father. But after her marriage, she is no longer claimed as a daughter in the family. She must go to the husband's house, but after marriage, she becomes the property of the husband. According to Manasamhita, a woman is never independent. She must remain the property of the father while she is not married and must remain the property of her husband until she is elderly and has grown up children of her own. In the old age, when the husband has taken sannyas and left home, she remains the property of the son. The woman is always dependent either upon father, husband, or elderly sons. that will be exhibited in the life of Devati. Devati's father handed over responsibility for her to the husband, Kardamani, and the same way Kardamani also left home, giving the responsibility of his son Kapila. This narration will describe the events one after. Now, here, very important point is what happens is the man, he feels the responsibility. When the daughter comes and they feel more dependent on father. Boys don't feel dependent. Boys, no, I will make my own things. But women, girls, they feel dependent on father. So father feels so much attachment to the daughters. They may not, they may not be so close. The daughters will be close to mother, but for father, he feels that responsibility and attachment for the daughter more than son. Of course, they want son because he will give prestige, he will increase their name and fame and other things. But the heart is there for daughter that he always want that she should be nice there because she is dependent. And after asking the and obtaining the great sage's permission to live, the monarch mounted his chariot with his wife and started for his capital, followed by his return. Along the way, he saw the prosperity of the tranquil, serene, beautiful hermitages on both the charming banks of Saraswati, the river so agreeable to saintly persons. Prabhupada is writing, as cities are constructed in modern age with great engineering and architectural craftsmanship, so in days gone by, there there are neighborhoods called Rishikulas, where great saintly persons reside. In India, there are still many magnificent places for spiritual understanding. There are many rishis and saintly persons living in nice cottages on the banks of the Ganges at Yamuna. Now they are going more deeper. Hey, uncle. India, there are still many magnificent palaces for spiritual understanding. There are many rishis and saintly persons living in nice cottage on the bank of Ganges Yamuna for purpose of spiritual cultivation. While passing through the Rishikulas, the king and his party were very much satisfied with the beauty of the cottage and heritage. It is stated here, Prasavan Ashrama Sampada. The great sage had no skyscrapers, but the hermitages were so beautiful that the king was very much pleased at the sight. Overjoyed to know of his arrival, his subject came forth from Brahmavarta to greet their returning Lord with songs, prayers, and musical instruments. So it was a big, he didn't go alone, he went with his entourage. Maybe marriage have done with his entourage. It is custom of citizens of king's capital to receive the king when he returns from a tour. There is a similar description when Krishna returned to Dwaraka. They were received by all the class of citizens. Formerly, capital cities were surrounded by walls and there are different gates for regular entrance. Even in Delhi today, there are old gates and some other old cities have such gates. The citizens would gather to receive the king. Hyderabad also we have Charminar. So like that we have some gates. Here also the citizens of Parishmati, the capital of Brahmavarta, the kingdom of Swayambhu Manu, came nicely dressed to receive the emperor with decoration and musical instruments. The city of Parishmati, rich in all kinds of wealth, was so called was because Lord's Vishnu's hair dropped from his body when he manifested himself as both. He shook his body with his very hairful and turned into blade of evergreen kusha grass and kusha, another kind of grass used for mat section. Sorry. By means of which the sage worshipped Lord Vishnu after defeating the demons who had interfered with the performance of their sacrifice. Prabhupada is writing, nice point. Any place directly connected with the Supreme Lord is called Pitasthana. Barishmati the capital of Swayambhu Manu, was exalted not because the city was very rich in wealth and opulence, but because the hair of Lord Varaha fell at this very spot. These hairs of the Lord later grew as green grass, and the sage used to worship the Lord with the grass after the time when the Lord killed the demon Hiranyaksha. So Yajna means Vishnu, Supreme Personality of God. So Yajno by Vishnu. The sacrifice should be done for the Vishnu. If something is done for the satisfaction, gratification, or any other purpose, it will be binding upon the worker. This is what Prabhupada is telling. And then Manu spread a seed of Pusha and Pushas and worship the Lord. Pushas and Kashas, the personality of Godhead, by whose grace he had obtained the rule of terrestrial globe. Oh. Prabhupada is telling Manu is the father of mankind. He is the number one person actually. And therefore from Manu comes the word man, or in Sanskrit Manusha. Those who are in a better position in the world, having sufficient wealth, should especially take lessons from Manu, who acknowledged his kingdom and opulence to be gifts from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus always engaged in devotional service. You see, he has opulence, but Manu is also one of the Mahajans, right? So his heart is with the Lord. Similarly, the descendants of Manu are human beings, especially those who are situated in well-to-do condition, must consider that whatever riches they have are the gifts from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those riches should be utilized for the service of Lord in sacrifice performed to please Him. That is the way to utilize wealth and opulence. No one can achieve wealth, opulence, beauty, birth, or nice education without the mercy of Lord. So Lord is only giving, right? But He is telling you, take this opulence, but don't give your heart to opulence. Give your heart to me. That is the point. When such acknowledgement is given, either by family, nation, or society, their abode becomes almost like Vaikuntha, and it becomes free from the opulence of the threefold miseries of this material world. In the modern age, the mission of Krishna consciousness is for everyone to acknowledge the supremacy of Lord Krishna. Whatever one has in his positions must be considered a gift by the grace of Lord, and everyone should be engaged in the service of Lord. If one wants to be happy and peaceful in his position, either as householder or citizen or member of human society, one must promote devotional service for the pleasure of Lord. And then Prabhupada, this is as further Muni says, sorry, Vaitreya says, having entered the city of Parishmati in which he had previously led, Manu entered his palace, which was filled with an atmosphere that eradicates the three miseries of material existence. Yes, such a opulence. The metal world or the metal existence life is filled with threefold miseries. Miseries pertain to body, and human society is meant to create spiritual atmosphere by spreading Krishna consciousness. So why it is free from miseries is because it is completely Krishna conscious. That's why. Kardamuni's palace is completely Krishna conscious palace, so no miseries. The miseries of metal existence cannot affect the status of Krishna consciousness. It is not that miseries of metal world completely vanish when one takes to Krishna, but for one who is Krishna conscious, the miseries of metal existence have no effect. We cannot stop the miseries of metal atmosphere, but Krishna consciousness is an antiseptic method to protect us from being affected by the miseries. So here, when they are saying no miseries, means they are not affected by the miseries. That is the point. Not that because the part of metal world, there will be miseries, but they don't affect because you are having antiseptic. But Krishna consciousness is an antiseptic method to protect us from being affected by the miseries of metal existence. For a Krishna conscious person, both living in heaven or hell are equal. Narayana para sarve nakutasya navittati swargapavarga narkeshu apitulyardash. How Swayambhu Manu created an atmosphere wherein he was not affected by metal miseries is explained as follows. Oh, this is a very big purport. We still have quite few important points to discuss. So this is very important. We'll try to see. this one. This is a very important shloka and very important purport also. Prabhupada gives so much to, he wants us to understand very nicely. Emperor Swayambhu Manu enjoyed life with his wife and subject and fulfilled his desires without being disturbed by unwanted principles contrary to the process of religion. That means he enjoyed legally. Very clearly it is told. Fulfilled his desires without being disturbed by unwanted principles contrary to the process of religion. Celestial musicians and their wives sang in chorus about the pure reputation of the emperor. And earlier in the morning, every day, he used to listen to the past tense of Supreme Personality of Godhead with a loving heart. The heart is a very important point. He didn't wanted to hear the latest music. People, as soon as they get up, they want to hear news and music. But here Swayambhu Man is also having. He did not. He didn't. Unfortunately, he didn't had any internet, YouTube. Every day is a live concert for him. Like now, people just keep their mobile TV and on, and they want to hear the music. They cannot go live. Previously, live concerts were very common. In every day in the evening temples, people go and hear somebody is doing kirtans and all. But now it is not possible. They hear. Swayambhu Man also was having everyday live concert. Human society is actually meant for realization of perfection in Krishna consciousness. There is no restriction against living with a wife and children. You see, there is no restriction living, but life should be conducted that one must not go against the principles of religion. So they are doing it very, very legally. According to Dharma, they are enjoying. You enjoy economic development, regulated sense enjoyment, and ultimately liberation from material existence. This is how the Vedic principles are designed in such a way that the conditioned souls who have come to this material existence may be guided in fulfilling their material desires and at the same time be liberated and go back home. So in this world they can enjoy and then they go. It is understood that Emperor Swayambhu Manu enjoyed his household life by following these principles. See, he enjoyed. It is stated here that early in the morning there was a musicians who used to sing with musical instrument about the glories of the Lord, and the emperor with his family personally used to hear about the pastimes of Supreme Lord. So the everyday musical concert live, and they are not some ordinary people singers. They are really, really very highly qualified, and they can give so much entertainment. It satisfies ears, it satisfies the mind, it satisfies the heart. And most important, what should be satisfied? Heart should be satisfied. If heart is satisfied, everything is satisfied. Heart will be satisfied because it is Krishna. Presently, what happens? The music, it satisfies the ears and mind of people. They don't satisfy the heart. The food, the music which we are getting in this world, the passionate world now we have, it is satisfying the mind and senses, but not the heart. Because heart is not satisfied, everybody is unhappy only. But if Krishna is added in that music, Krishna is added in the food, it not only satisfies the senses and mind, it also satisfies the heart. That's why people feel detachment after taking spiritual. After doing it in a proper way, they feel detached. Detachment is not suffering. Detachment is a higher level of enjoyment. People feel like in childhood, one person told me, if you chant the name of Ram, you will not marry. If you chant so much name of Ram. Then I was very inspired. He wanted to warn me, no, don't chant. But I took another way. I said, this is something nice. Why I should, somehow I didn't like to all this family and all. So I thought, okay, let me chant the name of Ram. He said, you get so much detached that you don't want to marry only. I said, something good. Means they feel that detachment is suffering. They don't understand it's a different level of happiness. When a person is detached, he experiences a different level of happiness. Tyagat Shantiranantaram. That's what Krishna is telling. When you give up, you are ayukta kama karena phale sakto nibaddhati. But yukta karma phalam tektva shanti mapnoti naishtikim. When you give up the fruits, then you experience naishtiki shanti, which is what we all need. So here, the point is we want to be happy. There is a higher level of happiness which we should aspire for, which is not in the sense gratification, satisfying mind and senses. It's at the heart level. And that's actually what comes when we do it in a proper way. We take prasadam only, don't eat anything outside. Slowly, our taste for all these things will reduce, and we want to do something higher, which is people feel like they feel, why are you not taking all these things? Why are you not enjoying? This is what is enjoyment in this. There is something high which we can enjoy, and they feel little sad. I was I went to my school gathering. They are feeling little sorry for me that I am not enjoying, but I am feeling sorry for them that no, they are unnecessarily wasting their life because they feel this is enjoyment. Detachment is higher level of enjoyment, and that comes when you do it legally. And the custom, this custom is still prevalent in India in some of the royal families and temples. Professional musicians sings with Shahnais, and the sleeping members of the house gradually get up from their beds in a pleasing atmosphere. So even before they get up, also this music starts. During bedtime, also the singers sing songs in relationship with the pastimes of the Lord, which I accompanied and accompaniment, and the householder gradually feels asleep. Remember the glories of Lord. In every household, in addition to the singing program, there is arrangement for Bhagavatam lectures in the evening. Family members sit down, hold Krishna Katha, hear narrations from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, enjoy music before going to bed. We also have every day we can hear in the Zoom night classes and then we take rest. The other people, what they do, they watch movie and take rest. We should hear Bhagavatam and take rest. The atmosphere created by the Sankirtan movement lives in their heart, and while sleeping, they also dream of the singing and glorification of the Lord. In such a way, perfection of Krishna consciousness can be attained. This practice is very old, as learned from this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Millions of years ago, Swayambhu Manu used to avail himself of this opportunity to live household life in peace and prosperity of Krishna conscious atmosphere. We'll take this last part. But as far as temples are concerned, in each and every royal palace or rich man's house, invariably there is a nice temple, and a member of household rise early in the morning and go to the temple to see the Mangalartika ceremony. The Mangalartika ceremony is the first worship of the morning. In the Artika ceremony, a light is offered in circles before the deities. There are conch and flowers and fan. The Lord is supposed to rise early in the morning and take some light refreshment and give audience to the devotees. The devotees then go back to the house to sing glories of the Lord in temple. The early morning ceremony still takes place in Indian temples and places. Temples are meant for the assembly of general public. Temples within palaces are especially for royal families, but in many of these palace temples, the public is also allowed to visit, like we have in Jaipur. Prabhupada write about it. If one goes there, he will see the temple is always crowded with at least 500 devotees. After Mangalatika ceremony, they sit down together and sing the glories of Lord with musical instruments, thus enjoy. Temple worship by the royal family is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, where it is stated that those who fail to achieve success in Bhakti Yoga principles within one life are given a chance to take birth in the next life in a family of a rich man or in the royal family of the learned brahmanas or devotees. If one gets the opportunity to take birth in these families, he can achieve the facilities of Krishna conscious atmosphere without difficulty. A child born in Krishna conscious mind is sure to develop Krishna consciousness, the perfection which he failed to attain in his last life. He is again offered in this life, and he can make himself perfect without fail. So, thank you very much. Any questions, comments? We'll end here.